Hello, everybody, and welcome. Thanks for joining the channel again. I'm Sterling, Psychic Medium. Appreciate all the wonderful comments we received in the first show. As you know, we launched the channel last week, and really just wonderful response. I appreciate that from people all around the world. So I think we're almost to 10,000 subscribers, and as soon as we get to 10,000 subscribers, we'll select the first winner of the half-hour session with me. So that's coming up very shortly. I think just before this show, we were just shy of 10,000. So probably in the next show, we'll announce the winner. So thanks very much. If you want to enter the contest, all you need to do is put comments in this show and start off with the word love. That's the way we know that you would actually like to be part of the contest, and we'll certainly include you in that. A couple things here on this show. I actually do get a couple of questions every once in a while regarding, psychic and mediumship and how the gifts work and how my gift works. I think one of the important points I want to make up front is that this is all information that gets received real time for me, coming from guides and angels. And so it's something that is not information that's based on reading a lot of books or necessarily going to seminars. It's all very clean information kind of coming in direct. And the other important point I want to make is that as that information comes in for all of us, including myself, it's important to believe it and trust it, because it does no good to kind of have the information come through and then to second guess it. So every once in a while we'll see things come through and people like to dissect the information. I think that's kind of a human characteristic, but I just want to make the point it's important to kind of trust information that we all receive and then go on and don't try to second guess it. Go on. So other than that, I thought it'd be important to talk about a few current events. Obviously, there's an impeachment trial going on right now. I did say on an earlier show I did with Linda Grindle on a Sunday a few weeks back, I did see Trump getting impeached. I did see a successful completion of that. Interestingly enough, my guides were saying that there'll be a number of factors that will come together to create that successful impeachment of the trial that's going on right now. And I think some of those factors might be a lack of some of the GOP senators showing up, a number of votes overall that are received. And more importantly, there's some important information coming on this trial that'll be a surprise. According to the information I received, it looks like there'll be some phone tapes, phone recordings of 45, and describing how he does not want the Capitol supported or defended in terms of having the National Guard, the military back off, the way things were planned for the Capitol Police. So I do believe there's looks like a tape recording, a phone recording coming out that will be kind of a direct indictment of some of the things that went on. So I think that's going to come out very shortly. The other thing is I get asked all the time, what is about the Republicans and the GOP that makes them really side with 45, even to this great extent that we're seeing. And for me, this has come up many times, but it looks like, not only a protection of their own power, but also an alignment with money that's been received over the years from offshore sources. And, it's hard to trace some of these. The FBI's doing a good job on that now, but I do see a lot of offshore, Russian money coming in that a number of GOP senators have taken. And so this kind of holds a proverbial, a thing over the head of a lot of the GOP on behalf of 45. So it's a real thing that's going on. And I think it's important to recognize that, but that's why a lot of them are resisting any kind of logic and just, moving on ahead and trying to deny it ever happened. But again, my guides, angels are saying that he will be impeached successfully. A number of factors will come together, and then that will in fact be the way it happens. So one of the things I want to do on this particular show, and I've had a request for this, is to kind of do a top 10 list of the most frequently asked questions that I receive. As we all do a lot of sessions and readings with people around the world, a number of common questions come up. So I thought it'd be kind of interesting and fun in a way, just to do a top 10 list of kind of the questions that I receive. And if this is successful and helpful for a lot of people, we'll continue to do kind of a top 10 list in future shows. So here's what we have today. So the number 10 list, the number 10, I should say, item on the list is I have Rh negative blood. Am I an alien? Well, no, not an alien. Rh negative blood is believed now, what I get is received is from terrestrial origin, unlike some of the other blood types we have here on Earth. But in fact, we all have a lot of DNA from terrestrials going back millions of years. So, but Rh negative blood is certainly one that was identified as being more aligned to areas not on Earth and more terrestrial in origin. So that's number 10 question. The number 9 most frequently asked question: if you commit suicide, are you in trouble on the other side? No. And in fact, what's interesting is that it's all part of your life path. So actually what happens is once you cross over, many times this becomes an asset. And this might be kind of interesting to understand, but many people that I see that commit suicide, in a lot of cases, are asked to then work on the other side to help transition other people that have committed suicide. So somebody that's knowledgeable and understands and can help and be supportive. So all part of a life path. You're certainly not in trouble on the other side, and you really do end up doing some very spectacular things. The number 8 most commonly asked questions: can parents, pets, and loved ones that have passed communicate with me? Absolutely. And many people have experienced different types of communication from people that have passed over, even pets, or getting certain indications, even maybe current animals in the house are seeing family members that crossed over, or pets that crossed over. And you can certainly communicate with them. As soon as you ask for them to come through and speak their name, they're there in an instant. So very, very easy. Number 7 most asked questions: what signs do I look for from loved ones if they're trying to communicate? It's been my experience in talking with a number of people on the other side that there are several very common things that individuals will do. A very common one is to lay change around. So you might find money in odd places, nickels, dimes, quarters. Another way is manipulation of birds. So you might be out in kind of a public environment and all of a sudden a swarm of birds come by. It might be doves, could even be butterflies. But a lot of times those are ways your loved ones are trying to communicate with you. And normally they'll align with some sort of an event or something that you associate with the loved one. So have some sort of a connection, like maybe they like butterflies or there are butterflies at the funeral service. So it'll be some sort of alignment. Another way, electrical. So you can certainly flicker lights, do lots of things with electrical fixtures, water sometimes, faucets going on and off, tapping sounds. Bell sounds are very common. So you might hear a very high frequency bell sound in an environment where there are no bells. So that's something that's very common. And last but not least, a lot of people hear either a whispering in their ear or maybe a tapping on the shoulder. All these things are ways in which loved ones can communicate with us. So that's worth knowing. Number 6, how do I create peace and harmony in my life? So a lot of people are going through conflict right now. It's a very stressful time, especially with family. And I find one of the easiest things you can do is send love and light to family members. I learned this practically in a lot of the business and executive dealings I had around the entertainment industry. Sometimes you have very contentious meetings, but in advance, I would send individuals love and light, and it really tempered the whole situation. It does work. So that's always a good start in order to try to develop peace and harmony in your life. The other thing is just, manifest what you want. And we'll go into more detail on that a little bit later on another show. Number 5, most frequently asked question: how do I know if I have karma to pay for in this life? Well, karma relates to actions, actions in a prior life, actions in a current life. But, for me, karma, according to my guides, is that it really aligns to lessons. We're all here to learn lessons. And so I would just say that there isn't a negative connotation to karma. It has everything to do with just, establishment of certain lessons you came down here to learn. Some might be carryovers. They're not punishments, so that's clear. But they're really aligned to lessons that we've decided to learn this life. So that's pretty much, in terms of karma, it's really a positive thing. Next, 4th most asked question: who is that playing with my lights? And I see orbs as well. Many times, when you see people playing with lights, we just discussed that, there'll be spirits or family members. Orbs, a lot of times, are family members trying to get your attention, or angels and guides. But more frequently, a lot of times, it's family members. But nothing to be afraid of. And now it's a bit of a blessing if you notice it and see it. It's a great thing to have happen. Great experience. Number 3, most commonly asked question: how do I manifest what I want in life? Well, Kind of talked about this on a prior show, but as you work with your guides, you want to be clear, concise, and consistent. So as long as you're clear, concise, and consistent with your guides, then you're going to know exactly, they're going to know exactly what you're trying to manifest. And number two, how do I change the talk track in my life? So many people have talk tracks that, are certainly more negative in nature, or, really focused on, lack of money, lack of resources, lack of love. And I always tell people there's a very simple kind of three-part talk track that makes sense to kind of reenact on all of ourselves. What you really want to say is that I give myself supreme love. The second thing is I'm living in abundance. And the third thing is that anything I could ever want or need, I have. Sometimes people will tell me, well, that sounds like I'm lying to myself. And I say, that's great. Lie to yourself. Lie to yourself for 3 or 4 weeks. And what happens is that tends to flip a switch and things start to go much more positive. And the number one most frequently asked question I get is I frequently receive cold chills. What is this? So many times these are confirmations from your guides, your angels. A lot of times people will say things and then they get a cold chill. So the cold chills are a confirmation. It's also a spirit wanting you to know they're very, very close. So it could be a guide, could be an angel, could be a family member, but it's a great confirmation of something you just said or something you're thinking about. They're letting you know that they're around. So a very, very, very good thing. Essentially for this show, we're going to keep these shows very straightforward and simple. I'll certainly look at all the requests that we have coming through on these shows to see if there's other topics that people want to cover. But for the time being, it was great getting together with you again. Looking forward to interacting with a lot of you in sessions and online. And please remember to like this video, subscribe, and certainly turn on your bell notifications so you can see when we upload a new video. And for the time being, see you all on the next show. Thank you.